Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, we're going to do something I haven't done before, and talk about a brand that I try not to focus on too much, but it is the most popular brand out there, and there's a ton of questions. And I'm going to be answering questions about Rolex. Everything about, regarding is the Submariner going to go down in value? Is the Daytona better than the Speedmaster? What is creating a relationship with an authorized dealer, and more. Now, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. I am wearing my Rolex Hulk. I did not buy this at an authorized dealer. I don't like to play that game, but I've worked in one for many years, so I do know how it works. And also, guys, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. Bunch of new watches in stock. Just got in a beautiful two-tone vintage blue dial Submariner, an Explorer 2 42mm, as well as a bunch of other Rolexes, amongst other things. Link in the description below. Alright guys, so these are your questions that you asked me on Instagram, specific to Rolex for the most part, and we'll get right into it. So, the first one is from CNE0118. Hey Fed, love the channel and getting your take on things. Thank you so much. My question is, do you have a piece in your collection that is untouchable, kind of like my Rolex Hulk? Meaning, under just about no circumstance will you sell it. If not, is there a piece that if you acquired, you wouldn't sell? Well, my friend, the Hulk I got for my 29th birthday. But I'm going to be honest. Every watch has a price. It might be an insane price. I mean, I wouldn't sell it for market price. I wouldn't even sell it for above market price. But, every single watch I own has a price, and that's part of the hobby. That's part about me, if I can sell something at a very good price, I get to buy something else and experience that. That being said, there is a watch from my father that I did get. It's a Jaeger LeCoultre Reverso Classique. Way too small for me to wear, but of course, never going to sell it because it was my father's. That being said, the Hulk, the GP, the Mosers, if I get a price where I can't say no, I'd sell it, just so I can experience another watch and kind of not only grow as a watch collector, but keep myself entertained as well. Nothing wrong with a little bit of profit. Mike Felice, is the Rolex Daytona a good watch? And is a Speedmaster just as good as a Daytona? Well, Mike, Speedmaster is a fantastic watch, even a richer history than the Daytona. However, the Daytona is a significantly better watch, materially, than a Speedmaster. Now, yes, the Daytona is about quadruple the market price of a Speedmaster, but it's a column wheel chronograph, whereas the Speedmaster is cam-operated. It's automatic. Speedmaster is manual wind. It's got a longer power reserve. It's just generally a higher quality watch, higher quality finish, not even in the same league. Now, do I prefer the Speedmaster to the Daytona? Yeah, I'm more of a Speedmaster guy, but you can't. Anybody who says a Speedmaster is spec for spec or materially better than a Daytona just does not know watches. Now, do you prefer the history of the Speedmaster or the look of the Speedmaster? Sure, all those things, no problem at all. But once again, watch to watch, Daytona kills the Speedmaster. Alex DR96. What does building a relationship with your AD really mean? Let's say you only buy steel Rolex sports models. Will the AD consider this as a good relationship? Alex, it's actually reversed. First you build the relationship, then you buy sports models. But let's just say you got sports models first, which is never going to happen. No, the AD thinks you're a fifth-rate customer who's pretty much useless. I'm not talking to you specifically, but a customer that only buys sports Rolex is a useless customer, a customer no AD wants. They want you to buy high-margin things. They want you to buy gold Rolex or other watch brands. They want you to buy jewelry and diamonds with 300% markup. And then, to give you a bone, they'll let you buy a steel sports Rolex. Guys, I don't condone this business practice, but I have worked at an AD for many years. I know how this works. This is the truth. Don't hate me for saying it, but it is the truth. Anybody who walks in and, check your purchase history and you've only bought Oyster Perpetuals and Submariners, yeah, you're a garbage customer. In the AD's mind, it just is what it is. They can sell that watch to anybody, and I'm sure they get 1,000 requests for every one watch they have available for sale. So no, the AD will not value that relationship. The AD will be happy to get rid of you and never welcome you again. A real relationship, whether you want to build one or not, is your concern. I'm just telling you the AD's perspective is someone who buys diamond jewelry for their wife, gold watches for themselves, and isn't too concerned with watches that everybody else wants. Is that realistic? Probably not. Are you and the AD's interests aligned? Absolutely not. But you asked me, what does it mean to build a relationship with your AD, and if steel sports models help? And I'm telling you, no, they absolutely do not help. Will Schaub. Hey Federico, love your channel. Would you recommend a vintage Rolex Datejust, or would you recommend saving for a more recent model? Well, Will, I'm more of a recent guy. I don't love vintage watches, but a lot of guys out there do. That being said, vintage Datejusts are great watches. To me, they're a little too small. They're a little too fragile. They don't feel anywhere near as good as the modern ones, but that's purely an opinion. If you like vintage, go with vintage. But if you're getting vintage just because it's cheaper, it's not going to satisfy you. R_Percy. If a new Submariner comes out, will the current sub lose value? Trick question, but the answer in a nutshell is absolutely it will, in the short term. When a new sub comes out with the updated movement, the current one will lose a crap ton of value. But then, once it hits the bottom, it'll slowly climb back up. If you look at current 16610s, that's the generation before the current one, the aluminum ones, they have been going up in value, but when the 116610 came out, they lost a ton. So essentially, yeah, when it comes out, it's going to drop like a brick, and then slowly but surely going to pick back up, at least if the market follows the current trend. And last but not least, Norian. Is Rolex not servicing vintage watches anymore? Yes, Norian, that is true for the most part. Rolex does not service a lot of their vintage watches, A, because they don't want the hassle, B, because they don't want the parts, and actually it's mostly A. They just don't want the hassle. Vintage watches are a pain in the butt to service. Vintage clients are the pickiest of the picky. Once again, this is just the truth. If you're a vintage guy, I mean no offense. But yeah, Rolex does refuse to service quite a few of their vintage references. I don't know exactly which ones they do, which ones they don't. I'm sure you can call Rolex service in Dallas or New York and find out. But yeah, guys, that is the Rolex Q&A. I answered a bunch of the most asked questions about Rolex that I received on my Instagram account. I hope you guys found it useful. I own a Rolex. I like Rolex, but I think there's a lot more to the watch world than Rolex only, and I try and kind of diversify, and I do for the most part. Rolex is not the main topic of my channel, but I thought these were some great questions, and I figured I'd answer them today. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help. Please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any content. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.